catch up later on. Again, my name is Dan Valamis. I'm on the board and very active in the analytics and data Oracle user community. I tend to run a lot of the meetings. We don't have official titles here. We're actually looking at getting a little more organized that way. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. What we're going to talk about today is just a welcome background on AnDOUC. I assume you can see my screens, Jean, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Looks good.
Sending. Who we are, a little demo of the website, YouTube, Slack. I'm going to give a little bit of the internals of what we do as a group, discuss the opportunities to get involved, kind of an open invitation for all of you, open up the phone lines and get some feedback from you all. What we'll do is then we'll promote everybody to panelists if I can find the right piece of this, and then everybody can talk. We want to hear from you, okay? But let me give a little bit of background. We purposely did this as a webinar so people could register for that, so we could capture the information, and so that we could get through a few things and then open everything up. Thank you for joining. So a little bit on who we are. Analytics and data. I stole some slides from our previous conference, just so you know, and I may have missed some people. I updated stuff from a couple of years ago. You can see I won't read off all the names in here, but these are the people generally that are in the AnDOUC leadership. You'll find we're pretty informal on this stuff. We're joined by some employee advisors, some from Oracle Corporation. That's Mark and Jean, Mark Hornick and Jean Eam. And then you'll see, as you notice what we do as a user community, you'll see emails that come out from Carrie Dayton. Carrie is paid by AnDOUC to help run the group, do some of the day-to-day interaction that makes sure things get scheduled, that type of thing. Normally, actually, she would be joining us here. She just had a conflict on this time. A little bit about history, so you know where this comes from. We were originally called BIWA, Business Intelligence Warehousing and Analytics Special Interest Group of the IOUG. We're founded back really 15 years ago in the summer of 2006. Sham Nath was one of the founders of this. We met as in conferences in 2007, 2008, then took a bit of a break. There's some story behind that I won't get into, but then we started again, if you will. The user group was around, just didn't have conferences. We started again in 2013 and had been putting on a conference every year called either BIWA Summit or renamed to Analytics and Data Summit through 2020, when the pandemic shut everything down, including our conference. About 2 weeks after our conference, everything shut down in terms of people having on-site conferences. This is all managed by this volunteer board members and Oracle advisors, and that's who we are. We are talking about potentially having another Analytics and Data Summit. It's something we're in discussions right now. When do the in-person conferences start? Do we want to keep doing that type of thing? I have a couple things on how to get involved in here. Just some links in here. We can visit some of these. This is where we get out to the community. Hey, join us for our Techcasts, that type of thing. But you can see the URLs, and I'll send out the slides afterwards to all of you, and we'll make it available in our Slack workspace. Speaking of which, this is how you join. The public information is this link. We shared this during our Techcast days at Join AnDOUC Slack. This is what the graphic looks like. And you can join, say hello to people. This is a Slack workspace that we pay for to get going. We also have an internal workspace that we use, just so you know, some of the behind the scenes. It's called the BIWA User Community. We'll invite you to join that at the end of this if you're interested in becoming more involved. That's where we run the whole thing, decide what are the minutes from the meetings. We talk about what sessions are going to be given, what's the upcoming calendar like. All the stuff in terms of running the user group is done pretty much in that Slack workspace called BIWA User Community. We haven't bothered to rename it to AnDOUC. Someday we'll get to that. If you want to get involved in that, maybe that's something you could do to help us out, figure out how to rename that and not lose any of the history. We also have some merchandise you're welcome to get. This is one of the ways of being involved. I have my Analytics and Data Summit mug from a couple times ago, and I have an AnDOUC mug as well that I'm not using right now. We have an upcoming Techcast Days on May 24 and through 26. That's our next. We have gone now towards doing more quarterly Techcast Days as opposed to in-person conferences, just to keep things going while nobody was traveling. So that's what we're doing now. That's in May. What do we do in August? I don't know. Join us and help us decide what to do in terms of going forward. I'll also mention we do have one special interest group within AnDOUC called the Spatial Graph SIG. It's part of the, whoops, I forgot to change the slide. It's part of the AnDOUC, and this is their meeting back from when they joined us in BWA Summit 2020. And they've got people from all over the world. Gene actually is very active with this, part of the Spatial Graph product management. Anything to add here, Gene? I think I have one more slide for you on this.
Ever since the Spatial Graph interest group joined with analytics, it's just been a really synergistic partnership, and it's been fantastic. Thanks, Dan.
So this is some of the people that are involved. Gene, I don't even know if this is up to date. You can tell me, yep, you grabbed an old slide. I didn't run it by you. Sorry about that. But these are some of the people that are involved from the AnDOUC Spatial Graph SIG. Here,
yeah, a couple of changes, but for the most part, most of these folks are still involved.
There, now it's fixed. All right, so then here are some ways that you all, and I just brainstormed this just before I ran it down by some of the people just today, some ways that you can get involved with us. We are looking for somebody to help liaise with the Oracle Academy and recruit some new people into the industry. We'd like to have more of a women in technology panel, help mentor women into this growing industry. If that's your passion, we can plug you in there. Social media, help us announce the Techcast. This is where we really struggle, folks, how to get the word out. There's so much buzz out there. A Techcast Committee. Adel, I'll invite you to say hello here. Adel runs this, our Techcast Committee. We meet on Tuesdays. Adel, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Yes, we run our Techcast and our Techcast Days. Our Techcast is twice a month. We have some very, very good technical content that we are sharing with you, and some sessions. If you have some interesting information to share, some technical, maybe you can fix some issue that you have with some of the Oracle products, or you are a client that want to share your experience with that, just submit an abstract. I'm going to send the link there. And we also organize the Techcast Day, which is once every quarter, when we have 3 days of great technical sessions, usually with also live demos. And the topics that we are showing is analytics, graph and spatial, and machine learning. So it's a lot of content, and it would be great if you can join us also in organizing this.
So if you want to make a difference in terms of what is selected, join the Techcast Committee. This is one of the major groups right now in AnDOUC because we put on these Techcasts every 2 weeks. There's some great content. I'm going to show that in just a moment here. We also have a membership database we're working on, frankly. That's helping to organize the user group and keep track of who is part of this. We have basically mail lists that we email to, and we need to organize this into a database. There's a group working on that at this point. I also have an interest in having kind of an enhancements committee, if you will, giving feedback to Oracle on this as a user group. That's a way you could get involved. Currently, actually isn't doing some. We're looking forward for somebody to kind of lead that group. A secretary to take minutes in the meeting. Right now, we kind of rotate that duty. Different people do it on different weeks. But we could use somebody to take the minutes in the meeting, help organize. A webmaster. We have somebody doing stuff now. but I'm sure they could use some help. We need some backup help in this. A Slack manager to help organize the Slack workspace for AnDOUC. There's times when we don't have stuff organized as well as we'd like to. And we could use somebody that really kind of oversees that whole area. Merchandise manager, right now, Abby is running this. It's a passion of hers to have these products, but she could use some help for that, especially if we had somebody in the US, because right now that's one of our challenges. We can ship to the US, we can't ship overseas as easily. And board and officer positions. This is all stuff that you could get involved. I see we have some stuff already on the chat area, and I think, let's try and open this up and organize stuff. Anything, let me show a couple things while I still have this. This is what our Slack workspace looks like. So I'm gonna click on, this is the public one. And if I go to the general tab, you'll see that we invited everybody to join. And this is where it's envisioned that all of the users of AnDOUC, all the members are part of this. We invite everybody to join here. I see that we have a problem with the case sensitivity of this. This join AnDOUC -slack at bit.ly, and that helps you join this. We have, looks like 459 people on this Slack workspace as part of the general channel. And then we have specific topics within this. Here's a ongoing topic discussion talking about, this is where we posted the slides, and we talk about what we would like to see in the product, that type of thing in analytics. Here's a conversation. Tim and this guy, I don't know, Alf Nordmo, are talking about what they'd like to see in the product and talking back and forth. Join this, that type of thing. There's information in here on graph and on the other channels that we have in here. Gene, do we have a spatial channel as well, or is it part of graph?
We do also
Like I
have
need
a
to add that
spatial channel.
Yes, yes, we have both.
Okay, so we have other channels as well in here, and here's spatial. Gosh, why am I not part of spatial? All right, well, that's solved. You can see how informal we are. This is kind of how we operate. Then this is what I wanted to show you. This is the behind the scenes. You don't see this unless you're kind of part of the organizing committee. This is us talking about, all right, we're going to have this welcome new members thing. And I posted my slides. You can see back here about an hour and a half ago. This is where the slides are. Take a look, folks, see what you have. Hey, I have this intro video. You may have seen this. I welcomed people, and this is where it went before it went up there. This is Sean working on the Survey Monkey on the poll stuff to find out the survey of what people want to do. And then we have other channels in here as well. In the Techcast's channel, you'll see this is where we're talking about what's coming up. Here's the minutes from the meeting. Here's the winter session. What do we have going on for April 7th? Is UiPath going to present there? I'm not sure. It's still being decided. This is all the behind the scenes. If you want to see what's going on, you should see part of this. And this is what normal members don't see. It's part of the messiness we try to hide from the general membership, but we invite you to be part of this. That's how we kind of run the user group up on our website. In case you didn't see the website, this is what it looks like. So this is analyticsanddataSummit.org is our website. You can see what's coming up for our upcoming Techcast days. Oops, looks like we need to get this updated to refer to our future one. We just had it last week, so we haven't updated for the new one. This is where you can see the individual sessions, register, all those links, what the program was, and the individual abstracts for each of the individual sessions was put out here by our webmaster. You can also look at past Techcast days and see what transpired in the October 2021 and so forth, going backwards for all of our Techcasts. If you want to see the library of Techcasts we have a bunch. We've been doing this for a while. Come down here into Techcast archive. You can see here is all the ones in 2021. You can watch these videos, see the slides from all these, 2020, all the ones in there, and 2019. we have quite a library of technical content that we've made available to the world. If you come up here to look at our homepage, if you look on YouTube, this is our YouTube channel. And on here, we have lots and lots of videos that we have done. Wayne Van Sluis, one of our volunteers, chops the individual Techcast days into individual sessions so you can watch those. And it goes on and on and on. We have playlists in here as well, so you can replay our fantastic Techcast days sessions as a playlist, all that type of stuff. So I know I'm throwing a lot out at you, but I wanted to show you what we do as a user community, give you a sense of how you can be involved in that. Anything else, Gene or Adel, before I just kind of invite everybody to join in and become part of this?
So just one overall comment that Abby has made. She and I believe many of the other board members and enthusiasts would say that the real attraction of A&D Oracle User Community is that it's the premier place to go for analytics knowledge, for knowledge, technical updates, use cases. And I think that's what differentiates this group from the other Oracle-related user groups around the world. We do have an enthusiastic worldwide user base. And I think they're drawn because of the level of expertise that we have, both from the partner, ACE, and customer user communities, as well as the tight relationship that this group has with Oracle product managers. I think that's been the real draw. And for me as an Oracle advisor, we put a lot of effort into working with the group because it's really a brain trust, of the leading edge innovators in analytics. And it's a way for us to get regular communication and feedback, both through the events as well as through participation in planning these events. So that's my 2 cents. And Spatial and Graph, of which I'm a part of from the product management side at Oracle, and in my involvement with the Spatial and Graph partners and customers, are a vibrant part of this group. And it's just really rewarding for everybody.
Adel, anything from your side?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Shin just said. If your topics of interest are analytics, graph and spatial, or machine learning, this is the place, this is the community to join. And we are really open to, we really want to hear from you. We are looking for people that, join us to continue growing this community. This community has been grown a lot in these last years, despite of COVID and everything. It's amazing. And we are completely convinced that the way to grow as professional is growing together. So that is why we share all the content that we have, that we know. We want to have the newest content and the most important and technical, challenging content for you. So it's great that you are here and that you want to listen to this and participate and say to us what do you want to do, and if you are interested in showing us and how.
Sham, I see you're on. Anything you want to add? I don't know if I'm catching the middle of something. Anything you want to add before I open it up to everybody else? And find, by the way, your hand button. I'll unmute you so you can talk if you want everybody else. But Sham, anything else?
Yeah, so thanks, Dan. Yeah, to echo what others said, we have been around for 15 years now. We started as Viva, which was focused on business intelligence and data warehousing. But over the time, we have adapted ourselves to the trends, both in the industry, in the Oracle landscape. We have renamed, we have switched our focus to more current technologies. And our goal is to basically be a value add to the members, whether you are just attending or are actively participating, be a professional value add to all of you.
All right, I am not seeing that there's a hand symbol on this, so maybe they can do it in webinar format, maybe they can't. But I was going to just unmute people as they want, but maybe I'm best off unmuting people. We don't have a huge crowd here, so let me try and figure out how to do this, and let me allow everybody to talk. So I'll just click on allow to talk for everybody. Hopefully nobody wants to hide. I think what happens is your names show up. If you want to hide from people, you can go ahead and drop. Sorry if I am messing up anybody, but I'm going to promote everybody to panelist at this point, and I think everybody can see. And just unmute yourself if you want to talk. I want to answer any questions you have. More I can share on how we work, but I'm more interested in hearing what you all want to get out of this, what you could do, and answer any questions you have about how we operate. Oh, one last thing I should mention is that we tend to meet every other Friday at 12 noon. So our next meeting would be March 4th. Welcome to join us, find out a little more about what we do in terms of running the group. Open invitation to that. I can send you the link for it. And we just use Zoom, and we have our own Zoom account. So welcome to join us. And it would be every other week starting on March 4th. That's why I picked this time. This is our off week. But with that, let me shut up and see if anybody else has anything to ask before I tell you a little more. But unmute yourself. You should have the opportunity to unmute yourself. Oh, here, I maybe have to promote you guys to panelist. I found another control in here. You can see I'm usually not the one doing this. It's usually Carrie. All right. Anybody have any questions? Hopefully you have an interest in at least finding out more about the group. And chat if you're having trouble unmuting, let me know via chat. Or I suppose we have the Q&A capability in here as well.
Yeah, we have it.
Maybe I put them all to sleep. I tried to go through some basic information quickly. All right, well, if you can at least put in chat, maybe where you're from, maybe people are eating lunch. We tend to do this at noon on Central Time. So sometimes I'm eating, trying to grab a quick snack before we have this meeting. So maybe people are off eating lunch. I actually recognize some of the companies that some of you are from. Would love to have you guys involved. So let me go ahead and share while people are finding the unmute that we typically run, as I said, we have an agenda often. I can show you what that looks like. We have an agenda that we come up with and we have meeting minutes. Here's an example of what we're doing for meeting minutes. You all may have a better way you suggest of running this. We're open to that, but here's Arijit, one of our volunteers that's doing this from one of the customers. Here are the minutes from the meeting. We were talking about how many people were in the current registration list. This is back on, February 4th. This is how many people we had in the Techcast days. We talked about putting the videos, a 5-minute Techcast video, something we're considering doing. I did a informal intro that was a 34-second intro video. Hey, why don't you come join us? We talked about what we should do, and here's the agenda that we had for the next meeting. Feedback on Techcast days. How did it go? We'll formalize the session. Do we want to have roles for people? Do we want to have voting in terms of having a president, vice president, that type of thing? Do we want to do that in more formally organized user group? Go through the survey results. What do people want out of an AnDOUC? We have a survey. If Adel, any of you, Gene or Sham, if you can find where the link is, we have that still open from Techcast days. We're going to actually try to have people give us feedback on where they'd like to see us go as a user group. If you can post that in chat so people can see it. Then talk about what roles we'd have, volunteers, and maybe have more faces on the user community. This is an example of where we took meeting minutes. Anything from anybody else that has questions on what we do as a user group? So I'll go ahead and ask people, do you have an interest from what I've described in maybe joining us in a week, seeing what we do? We'd like to invite you to be involved in helping to organize. We have, as I mentioned, some positions, ways to engage. These are the types of things that you could help us out with, even providing feedback. Frankly, we would like to be really for users of the technology. Right now, we are more heavily weighted towards consultants. We'd like to have more users involved. So if you're with a user company, we'd love to have you help determine the direction the AnDOUC is going. We have, depends on how you count it, 1,000, 2,000 members, something like that. Where would you all like to go? And any interest in joining us, I'll send you the invitation to next Friday's meeting if you can join us. Anybody interested? I'm wondering if something's going wrong with being able to invite people to unmute themselves. I haven't tried this before. I'll try it again.
Yeah, probably maybe some of the some things that we can do is just share Gary's email or some of our emails. So if people want to contact us and have a few questions that they cannot ask right now,
Yeah,
they can ask.
that could be too.
Yeah.
All right, so here, let me just do this. That way I share it. Let me find my PowerPoint deck here. Let me just, I'll do this manually now. As you can see, we do things relatively informally. So let me go to this slide. I'll get there. I'm at dvalamis@valamis.com. Whoops, that didn't work well. All right, I'll get it fixed.
I can put it in the chat if you want.
Yeah, put it in the chat, would you?
Yes.
Put the stuff in the chat. It's hard for me to type it.
Yes, I will put yours and mine.
Yeah. So I'm at dvalamis@valamis.com, and I will make this smaller. You can see, you know, this is an army of the willing. This is the way one of our people that was very involved before, Charlie Berger, put it. So, you know, whoever shows up kind of is what we end up doing. So, anybody else have any questions of what we do? I organized this kind of last minute to see if we could invite some people to be involved, but I especially want to answer any questions that you all may have. Anything else, Adel, Jean, Sham, that I should try to share with this group? Otherwise, I'll make this available for replay, and I'll follow up individually with people and see if they want to become involved. We may have some technical issues with them unmuting themselves.
We could ask people to share about the in-person. Are they attending any other in-person events? Are they planning to, whether it's in town, out of town?
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. This is one of the things we're talking about. Should we be doing in-person events? Are you guys not right now traveling and going to in-person events? Okay. Well, otherwise, I think I'm going to make the recording available for others that couldn't make it. I know I did receive some comments from people, yeah, interested, but the timing didn't work. We'll make the recording available, and I'll look at closing if we don't have other stuff that other people are interested in. And I'll follow up with people individually. Well, thank you, everybody, for your time, and hopefully invite you to the upcoming meeting on March 4th. Hope you can join us for that, or the next one would be on the 18th. And hope to have you involved in helping with the user group, and maybe you can help determine the direction it should go. What would you like to get out of it? That type of thing.
And we love to hear from you, really.
Yeah.
So if you cannot share with us some of the information, just feel free to reach us in the emails that I put in the chat, and looking forward to hear from you.
Thanks, everybody. I'm going to end this, and Jean and Eam, Jean and Adel and Shamo chat on the Slack workspace. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan.